Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin and then we'll look at Shib. This seems to be the best trade of the week so far. So, starting with the dominance chart. So, despite obviously Bitcoin rallying supercharged, being the obviously arguably the best thing you could have bought ever, we see the dominance chart breaking out from this descending triangle formation. Fair enough. Like I say, we weren't quite so sure which direction it wanted to go, but there was a pump signal on the Ichimoku cloud. There was basically a trend that's been going on for a very long time, and it did end up being just like this, descending descending triangle formation. Sorry, a bit early here. Kids are ill as well, which means I've been kept up all night. So, what we're looking at is a breakout, obviously. And so what should we look for now? If we're looking for any kind of rejection on this, what are we going to be looking for? So the main thing is, well, you could see that there is a rejection taking place here already. I'm not going to say that this is actually where we're going to get rejected from. It's a bit of a no man's land kind of area. If you're in alt, you're in alt, basically. That's the deal. To think about this being anything other than just a representation of the chaos and mayhem that's going on in the market right now, I think is naive. However, if Bitcoin keeps pumping or if Bitcoin starts dumping, we're going to see this rise up anyway. And this area over here, this 57.6% dominance, is where I'd get really excited to continue rotating some of those precious Bitcoins into altcoins. Now, in the previous major, huge, epic bull market alt season, we did rotate our Bitcoin after a 300% rally into altcoins over here, where, this is basically where we all became mega rich. If we're going to have something similar to that, it would begin around here, I reckon. And look, if everything gets really, really bullish, then yeah, we could see ourselves back up into like the lower 60% zone. And look, I welcome all of this because obviously I've got some Bitcoin. Let's just put it like that. I've got some Bitcoin, and I would be happy to rotate more of it because the big gains are always going to be made from altcoins, if we can flip one Bitcoin into 2, into 5, into 10, then that's what we want. And these are the areas where we could really think about doing it. Now, I did rotate some Bitcoin, a full Bitcoin, into XRP 2 days ago. Whether you think that's a good idea or not, that remains to be seen. But let's have a think about Shib, shall we? So Shib has now hit the first major sell target that I've got on here. So this is target 1, but given the strength and the setup, I was not too keen on this one. So this was my first sell of Shib so far. And if we measure it from entry point to where we are, that's a 50% or just short of a 50% within a week. To be fair, it's majority of it is within a few days. That is a decent trade. Now that's 50% of my Shib gone now. What we'll be looking for now is the next target, which is going to take us up to round about, what do you want to call it, 1,700 Shib points, Shib credits, Shibs, I don't know what you call them. Now, technically they're fractions of a cent. I really don't know what to refer to it as. Now, yesterday was a little crazy. Obviously, we got that big pullback, that big dump on Bitcoin and crypto and everybody, and as a result, sort of reset. It would appear that it was more or less at the same time as that weird Coinbase glitch. One of the, I always talk about the parents in the queue at school who force me to get them to do crypto because they hear that that's how I make my living. I'm like, I really don't want to do it. So when I do, I try and do it as safely as possible for them. And say, look, just set up a Coinbase account or maybe a Swissborg account and just take it easy. Anyway, I had some very concerned messages yesterday. My balance is at 0. I think I've been hacked. So something weird went down yesterday on Coinbase. These sort of things do happen, I have to say. I remember these sort of things happening on Binance in not the peak, but when the volume was huge and the bull market was roaring in the last cycle. The platforms start to struggle. And if anyone's got a if anyone's bitten off more than they can chew, I would probably say it would be Coinbase, because they're the ones who are facilitating the ETFs as well. So yeah, there was a problem. Everybody got wiped to a zero balance, you know, on the face of it. The reality was it was just a glitch, and then this happened. So I think the two are pretty much linked. I don't see that as anything other than it's not a coincidence. That I think was the driver of it. So as a result, we've managed to continue up now, and we can see that Bitcoin's trying to push back up to where it dropped from. So let's think about Bitcoin now, and do we have any warning signs on any of these time frames, so we can, I suppose, work out how hot it's going to be. No bearish divergence 4 hourly. No bearish divergence 4 hourly. Basically, no bearish divergence at all. Daily, what have we got going on the daily? No bearish divergence on this RSI. There is some on the money flow index. So what we're seeing is actually volume is subsiding, but is that enough? No. Well, we were talking about this the other day, about how the money flow index has basically reset, and although it's generating bearish divergence, it's also breaking out of a trend line, which, to be fair, is bullish. It's bullish. It's bearish divergence, however, it is bullish. So we would be looking for this to continue up. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. We've surpassed this area, this 59,500. We've surpassed it. We are trying to now head towards a new all-time high. Now, in classic Noobmaster style, I would imagine that the all-time high is front run, and exit points will be taken as we approach the all-time high, and probably towards these candle body highs around $65,000. So only a little bit further from where we are right now. We'd be looking for a bit of profit taking around those areas, just to bag some of those sweet gains. And again, that is just standard procedure. Whether we pull back and consolidate, or we basically get picked up from there, which I imagine is probably more likely to be the case. We pull back, maybe back into the 59,500-ish area, and continue on. So it does look bullish on the short term and the higher term timeframes. We do have to respect the bearish divergence on the money flow index on the weekly, but just when things go parabolic, you know, we take those on board as nothing more than a reference, so we can understand how dangerous it is. But this is parabolic now. It basically is parabolic, and we should enjoy that, because obviously, you know, we've been enjoying ourselves this bull run. You know, people called us crazy, didn't they? Which, you know, whether we're crazy or not, we still bought, and we held, and we'll continue to hold. But things are looking more bullish than I would have ever expected. To approach these levels and surpass this level and continue to break all these levels, unbelievable. So what do we do from here? Well, personally, we're just going to have to allow for the market to tell us, because whether we pull back from here and have a decent retracement, and look, what would be a retracement from here? Let's just say it for what it is. A 30% retracement takes us only down to 43,500. Is that a big deal? Not at all. Not at all. Considering I bought all mine for 21,000, what would be a retracement down to the 200 exponential? It's a 55% retracement. You can't rule it out. What would that be? It's 28,000. Is that a big deal? Not at all. As far as the trend signal on the Itchy Cloud is concerned, we're still bullish, provided we can maintain areas above 28,000. Bullish to the max. Absolute massive super turbo bull. So look, Bitcoin looks like it wants to try and make an attempt to the all-time high, and I would imagine that we do have a little front-running dip on this one, around 65,500, but outside of that, we're just going to keep going and going and going. And again, Shib being a pretty good trade of the week, 50%, you know, within a week. That's not bad. The lagger is obviously this bad boy over here, the XRP chart. People will continue to point the finger at this. what is going on? Why is it so rubbish? All these gains, rah, rah, rah. What's going on, man? Why isn't it making any money? Well, I tell you something, I stand by my conviction here. Now, what I've always said about this is that this is a great chart on a weekly, okay? It's a brilliant chart. And what we're looking for is for a closure on the weekly above the Bollinger Band Centre being the 20 weekly, which is around 58 and a half cent. You get that closure. It's not a signal in itself, but it's basically reclaimed all moving averages on a weekly. And at that point, we would be looking for this to actually just shoot up. So I am not looking at XRP as a failed trade at all. In fact, I look at it as basically exactly the same trade that I entered into when I entered into it. My conviction is still the same. I have no reason to be disheartened or deterred. In fact, there's only one thing for me to think about doing, which is to take all the profits that I'm making from things like Shib and put them back into to XRP, because XRP has not yet done the move which I'm expecting it to do over the next few weeks, which is to make its way towards like 120, which is a decent trade, I can tell you that much. So 50% gain on Shib. What am I going to do? Put that gain into XRP. And what's that likely to do? In my opinion, it's going to give me more. So look, I mean, this is just my setups, my trading strategies. This is the beauty of crypto, isn't it, really? And this is what we were doing from October onwards. We were doing one pump, from that pump going into another pump, from that pump go to another pump, from that pump go to another pump. So if you are looking at something like XRP and it's not pumping, and you're like, oh, why? Just think, right, is the setup still valid? I would say yes. What's your expectation for it? Here, and here. Okay, great. What is your problem at the moment? Things are pumping around it and it's not pumping. Okay, so is that a lack of patience that you've got there that's being your problem? It sounds like it's a lack of patience. It's nothing more than that. So really, for me, I'm going to be taking profits from other trades, whether that's Bitcoin, Shib, and any of the other little things that I've got going on, and feeding it into the XRP trade for what I would expect to be a continuation of this uptrend, which it definitely is an uptrend. This is you don't get many charts that actually look like this. People think it's a rubbish chart, but it's really not. This chart is showing you that it's convinced that it's going to go up. Now, there is no such thing as a 100% guarantee of a trade, but when you have a structure like this, which is basically higher highs, higher lows, since basically the last, well, it's getting closer and closer to a 2-year uptrend, which is what it is. People don't recognize that because they want millions of percents. This is a slow and steady, continuous uptrend, which is getting ready to generate a higher high. That's what it wants to do. That's what the chart suggests. And unlike many other charts, it's got a golden cross on the weekly, whether it's simple moving averages. Actually, it's not got simple moving averages, but it does have exponential moving averages. And that's where it's being based from. Boink and boink. So, look, love it or hate it, XRP is still very much a good trade for me. You've got to obviously make your own trades, and you've got to understand your own risk. And if you do enter into an XRP trade, please don't continuously DM me every day. What's XRP doing? What's XRP doing? Excuse me, what's XRP doing? Just one quick question. What's XRP doing? Well, I mean, everything I say about anything that I think is going to happen is said on a video, right? I say it here. And if you don't get that, then unfortunately there's nothing much more I can say about it. You know, it's easier to speak on a video than it is to DM. So there's really nothing more I can say about this. And the only thing I would say, if anybody's got questions about it, is that it's on a weekly. The setup's a weekly setup. You've got to have the patience for it. Okay. What's XRP doing? Right, so long story short, the market's rallying, the market wants to keep pumping. Keep your eyes peeled for Bitcoin as it approaches $65,000 for a pullback, which I imagine will get picked back up anyway. That's just a noob master dip. But again, you know, we are approaching serious highs over here across the board for Bitcoin. So if you are scared of trading, then then perhaps stand back and chill out. If you have the capacity, the balls, the patience, the risk management, and all of the good stuff that that is required for anybody to be a successful trader, then good luck. I'm with you on this one, and I'm feeding the XRP trade. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. If you want to join the Patreon, links in the description below, and Telegrams, obviously that's there too. Alternatively, just have a nice day and take it easy.